Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, December 2nd, although I'm probably posting this on Sunday, December 3rd, again, to spread out my content. I know you guys don't have the time probably to watch both of the videos in the same day, because typically the Saturday videos or the weekend videos are longer because it's just like a weekend recap and all that jazz. And, it's been very busy, especially with, Yield Max and Defiance doing them together. So anyway, let's get to it. QQQY, I will cover the Defiance ETFs, QQQY, and JEPY. I do not cover IWMY, but Airborne should have that information if you want to check him out. Or there's another YouTuber, I think his name is Max Convexity. I know he covers all three, so if you want to see IWMY, you could check him out as well. So shout out to him. Very knowledgeable guy. So let's get into this. So QQQY on December 1st, expiration, how did they do? They needed a break. The break even was 15,908 and the strike price was 15,980. Again, if you look at columns I and columns G, the index price closed at 15,997. And that's, guess what? Above the strike. When they end above the strike, it's 100% profit, okay? So they won. QQQY won. As you know, they previously lost. So they were 0 for 2. They are now 2 for 2. So they are 500. So if you look at the wins and losses over here, 2 for 2, baby. Not 2 for 2. 2 and 2. All right. So that's a good thing. Obviously, if you look at the close price, column F, it is 0. So again, nothing to close it. I added a new column per request from someone that subscribes, and they posted it on my comments. And this was a very smart suggestion. I was thinking about it. Of course, I don't want to add more to my spreadsheets. I really don't. But this one makes sense. He said when I considered the loss, when I talk about wins and losses, keep in mind it's only about the options contracts. But he mentioned, what about the losses when the index goes way over the strike, right? We're losing out on those capital gains. So I decided to take a formula and calculate exactly that. Like, what if? Okay, so if the index goes above our strike price, keep in mind, index to strike price at the time we do the trade, we get the intrinsic value. So we'll consider that the capital gains that we get. But if it goes above that, yes, it's good that we win. We don't have to pay out money, right, to close the position. But we don't get the intrinsic value for that because our strike is capped, right? So now if we take the difference, if we take the index price 15,997, subtract out our strike, it's basically that amount that we're losing. So you take that amount and you divide it by, when I divide it by G8, right? G8. So divided by the strike, that's, the additional percentage we lose out on. So we lost 0.11% yesterday on Friday. We lost out on that additional capital appreciation via the intrinsic value. So if they sold a put with a 15,997.58 strike, then guess what? Missed out gains would be 0 because we would have capitalized on everything. But that's not easy. I mean, understand that, guys. They're not going to get this perfectly. I just wanted to add that column so we can see like how much per day, like if the index goes up massively, like is that really bad or is that okay? And what does it look like? So thank you for that suggestion. Again, sorry I forgot your name, but it was a great suggestion. So going across, again, the buy to close was 0 for the 12 ones. So it was all profit. So obviously the 1130s were red, but the 12 ones are green. So it pushed us back, back in the game, baby. So what did they do? So they started 2 new positions, 113 contracts with a 16,020 strike, and 53 contracts with a 16,020 strike. Okay. Our break even is 15,956 and 15,954. So Monday at the close, we want our price to be above the break even at a minimum, or we really want it to be at the strike or slightly above. Because again, not too much above because we'll miss out on some gains there. So we'll see how that plays out. Scrolling across, again, I cover the intrinsic and extrinsic value. The intrinsic value is the difference between the strike and the latest index price. And then the extrinsic is the difference between the premium collected minus the intrinsic value. The sell to open, let me get everything out of the way so you know what I'm talking about. Sell to open, we got about $1 million for the day, almost. Yeah, we got above $1 million. So our running total for the month, about 1.9 million income. Cash and treasuries, it went up. As you can see, the day before, I didn't cover this because I didn't get the information in time. It went down 11 million, but that's the payout, right? They had to pay out, it was ex-dividend date, so they had to pay us out some money. And it actually calculated exactly 93 cents. So, but yesterday, they must have had a lot of new investors or something. Cash went up like a lot. And, we went up, 25 million. I know we got like $1 million from the put, but obviously we got money from probably new outstanding shares. So this fund is a growing. Speaking of outstanding shares, we're now at 12,275,000 outstanding shares. The more the merrier. Income, 1.9 million. So if we take the total income, divide that by the outstanding shares, we get 16 cents per share. Again, it's only been 2 days, so I do calculate this as we go. Average daily, this should be divided by, divide by 3 because we have 3 trades. This includes the 12.4. Average daily yield, or above their goal of 0.25%. They're at 0.31%. Extrinsic income is 1.7 million or 14 cents. So this is where we stand. Intrinsic net income, this is net of losses. Extrinsic income, and then all income. Again, kind of like the low distribution we'd get, and then the high. And then this breakdown actually shows intrinsic, extrinsic, and the premium outgo, which is the losses. Okay, and guess what? I have one more tab for you guys. You guys are going to like this one. So at the end of November, I had a calculation of intrinsic income, I have extrinsic income, and I have losses. So the net income that I calculated was 9.9 million. The outstanding shares on declaration date was 10.5 million. So the total money that they made, I showed, again, this is me, this is what I showed, 95 cents. However, they paid out almost most of that. So they paid out 93 cents. So guess what? We did not get to keep all of that intrinsic value into our NAV. We did not get that, so-called capital appreciation. We're getting paid out most of it. So there's only 2 cents in NAV reserve, I'm going to call it, because, again, they paid out. If they only paid out the extrinsic value, then we would have a bigger NAV reserve. Our capital appreciation would have been a little better maintained, but they probably wanted to keep the payout pretty high, especially looking at JEPY. They didn't want 2 of their funds to take a crap, I guess. So our NAV reserve, we only maintained 2 cents into the NAV, but it's better than nothing, and it's better than negative, so it's pretty good. Again, this is negative, but it's a credit. It's like it's a gain. I know people hate my signage, but this is how I set up all the spreadsheets, and I'm not changing it, so I'm sorry for that. So I'll add each month as we go. I don't have this for JEPY because I didn't do November JEPY, but I'll add December going forward for JEPY. All right, speaking of JEPY, let's move on to JEPY. All right, so JEPY had 12/1 expiration. Their strike was 4,575, and the break even was 4,560. But guess what? The index price closed at 4,594.63. So, how they do? Obviously, they won. The close price, the index price closed above the strike, which means 100% profit. The close price in column F, it shows 0, reflecting that. However, what did we miss out on gains? We missed out on 0.43%. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Intrinsic and extrinsic value obviously shown, and then obviously the buy to close was 0, so our running total looking pretty good. Wins, losses, 4 wins, 0 losses. Keep in mind this represents the actual how many contracts they had, because they have 2 a day now. I wish they had 1, but they have 2 a day. New positions expiring into Monday. 177 contracts with a strike price of 4,600, 28 contracts with a strike price of 4,600. They got 2 different open prices for it, which, obviously they got more on the 177. That's what matters. They got more on the larger one. And what do we want to happen Monday? We basically want the index, the SPX index, to be above 4,586, okay? Or, best case scenario, we want the index to close at 4,600. Or I'll take a little above that. Again, we don't want it to be too much above that because we will miss out on possible potential gains. Again, our gains are via the intrinsic value. So our intrinsic value on this position is 537. Why? What's the difference between the strike and the last close price of the index, right? If you take those 2 numbers, 4,600 minus 4,594.63, you get 537 intrinsic value. Extrinsic value, the difference between these open prices and intrinsic value. Hopefully I'm not confusing you guys. I know someone wanted a better video to just explain how these sheets work. The problem is I keep changing the spreadsheets. So if I make a video talking about the spreadsheet and I change one thing, I have to redo it over and over. But once I get maybe say mid-month and I didn't change anything by that point, then I'll probably do that. So stay on the lookout. All right, running total, we're at 863,000. Income for the month, cash and treasuries, it went up 2.1 million. This one was a little confusing. JEPY paid, what did they pay on X date? I mean, I know their distribution's horrible. What was it? 60 cents? I forget. But the movement, the change in cash for the day, it went down, but it did not go down a lot. And I showed it went down about 24 cents per share. So I guess it's possible they had additional outstanding shares that same date, on X date. So we didn't see as much of a drastic change. QQQY kind of worked out perfectly. But anyway, look at the next day. They have even more cash. They made almost, 43 cents per share. But again, as more shareholders come, we got to spread the wealth on the distribution. So where do we stand? We have 5,050,000 outstanding shares, 863,000 income. That's about 17 cents per share. Again, we're only at a few days. JEPY price. I don't think I covered the JEPY price. JEPY price on 12/1. Yeah, closed at $17.99. Yeah, but that was X date. Went down 3.23%. Index went up 0.59%. Annualized yield 11%, which again, that doesn't matter. Average daily yield, divided by 3, 6 cents. Average daily, that was average daily premium. Average daily yield is 0.32%, which is above their goal of 0.25%. I mentioned it before, wins and losses, 4 to 0, and extrinsic income 512,000 or 10 cents per share. This tab, similar to the QQQY, this is where we stand. We're at a low distribution of 9 and a high of 17. And then again, we have this breakdown and all that jazz. That's it. I did not cover, and I am not covering IWMY because I can't and I won't. This is it. These 4. I am capped. I am capped out on my time. And that was very apparent to me last night when I was playing with spreadsheets all night and then all morning. I got up at like 4 a.m. to finish this up so I can get these videos out in the morning. But I'll probably post this one on Sunday. So as always, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. If you have suggestions on this spreadsheet, both of these spreadsheets, obviously, let me know. If you enjoyed, any part of the spreadsheet, let me know. It's always good to hear some good, valuable feedback. If you see anything that's useless, also let me know. Again, I kind of go by the community. I go by obviously what I think, and if the community says something I agree with, then I'll go with it. But that's it. Yeah, if you enjoyed this, please click like, leave a comment, and that's it. Have a great week. Have a great rest of your weekend again, because it's probably Sunday. And take care. Thanks for watching. Later.